reproductive systems. Reproduction is an essential life process which not only helps in survival of species but also helps in continuity of that race. Sexual reproduction is a biological process by which organisms create descendants through the combination of genetic material. Human male and female both have reproductive system which consists of some organs, accessory ducts, and certain glands. A special system is present in male and female bodies to produce two types of gametes. The male reproductive system produces plenty of male gametes called sperms. The female reproductive system produces ova. These haploid gametes, sperm and ovum, fuse to form a diploid cell, zygote. Zygote then turns into embryo. This embryo has a complete set of genetic material from two donors. As an embryo matures, it starts to turn into a recognizable form which is referred to as a fetus. Fetus grows into human baby. Thus, the significance of reproductive systems in all sexually reproducing organisms is highly profound. The male reproductive system is located in the pelvic region. This system consists of some organs, glands, and a series of ducts. Testes are a pair of oval organs that are present in scrotum. The scrotum is a loose, pouch-like sac of skin that contains the testes. The scrotum acts as a climate control system for the testes. For normal sperm development, the testes must be at a temperature slightly cooler than the body temperature. The testes are responsible for making testosterone, the primary male sex hormone, and for generating sperms. Within the testes, there are coiled masses of tubes called seminiferous tubules. These tubes are responsible for producing sperm cells. The seminiferous tubules join together to form a structure known as epididymis. Within the epididymis, the sperms complete their maturation. This is also a site to store sperms until they are ejaculated. Epididymis continues to form less convoluted tube known as vas deferens. This is also known as sperm duct. Vas deferens enters into seminal vesicle, and the fusion of the vas deferens and the seminal vesicles forms a common duct known as the ejaculatory duct. The ejaculatory ducts empty into the urethra. This is a tube which runs through the penis. It is also the passage that allows urine from the bladder to be excreted out of the body. penis is an organ that allows sperms to flow out of the body. It is a male sex organ which is made up of soft tissues and rich in blood vessels. Apart from these organs, there are certain glands also which play important role in functioning of male reproductive system. The seminal vesicles are sac-like pouches that are present below the base of the bladder. The fluid of this gland provides sperms a source of energy to help them move. This is the prostate gland. It is located below the urinary bladder. Secretions of this gland help to nourish the sperms. The urethra runs through the center of the prostate gland. Bulbourethral glands are also called Cooper's glands. These are pea-sized structures located on the sides of the urethra just below the prostate gland. These glands produce a clear, slippery fluid that empties directly into the urethra. Let us discuss the female reproductive system. It lies in the pelvic region. The brain plays an important role in keeping reproductive organs healthy by releasing certain hormones. The female reproductive system consists of a pair of ovaries, 2 fallopian tubes, uterus, vagina, and cervix. The ovaries are 2 oval-shaped organs that lie on the upper right and left of the uterus. Each ovary is composed of ovarian follicles. At the puberty, these follicles undergo maturation to produce ova. Near the posterior end of the ovary, a funnel-like structure leads into a long, convoluted tube known as fallopian tube. These funnel-shaped structures having fingers-like projections are known as fimbriae. Fallopian tubes connect the uterus to the ovaries. Within each tube, there is a tiny passage through which an egg is transported every month during ovulation. This is uterus. It is a triangular structure with a thick lining and muscular walls. Uterus is connected to the fallopian tubes on both the sides. During conception, a fertilized egg implants itself in the wall of the uterus. This is cervix. It forms the lower part of the uterus and opens into vagina. The vagina is a tubular organ that connects the uterus through the cervix to the outside of the body. It is a place where the sperms are transferred during copulation. It is also known as birth canal because the baby comes out through this passage during childbirth. This is how the system looks like in its side view. This is vagina. This lower narrow portion of the uterus forms cervix, where it joins with the upper end of the vagina. At the upper corners of the uterus, the fallopian tube connects the uterus to the ovary. The ovaries are also part of the endocrine system because they produce female sex hormones such as estrogen and progesterone. When a girl child reaches puberty, the pituitary gland, located in the central part of the brain, starts making hormones that stimulate the ovaries to produce female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. The secretion of these hormones causes a girl to develop into a sexually mature woman. Menstrual cycle. Menstruation starts when a girl child reaches puberty. At puberty, the pituitary gland, located in the central part of the brain, starts secreting a hormone that stimulates the ovaries to produce female sex hormones, estrogen and progesterone. The secretion of these hormones causes a girl to develop into a sexually mature woman. The sex hormones are responsible for the physical, physiological and emotional changes during puberty. Once a girl becomes sexually mature, egg maturation within the ovarian follicles starts taking place. When a baby girl is born, her ovaries contain thousands of eggs which remain inactive until she attains puberty. The menstrual cycle consists of a series of changes that occur in the uterine wall and the ovaries and thus divided into a number of phases. The complete cycle takes about a period of 1 month. During these different phases, several changes take place in a girl's body. Sexual cycle starts with the shedding of the uterine wall and blood through the vagina. The third component in the menstruation flow is the unfertilized ovum. It is a single cell which cannot be seen with the naked eye, but it is very much part of the flow. When bleeding stops, the uterine wall starts healing up the loss. It thickens with more blood vessels. When all this is happening to uterine wall, one of the ovarian follicles also starts getting mature. Soon, the egg inside this follicle matures fully and becomes ready to get released. Ovulation takes place and the ovum is released. An ovum is released around the 14th day of the cycle. The fertility phase lasts up to approximately 12 hours after the egg is released. Two hormones, estrogen and progesterone, stimulate the uterine wall to become thick and rich in blood vessels. When pregnancy occurs, this blood vessels rich uterine wall provides nourishment to the developing embryo. If the pregnancy does not occur, the uterus lining is shed again along with the ovum. It is important to maintain personal hygiene and cleanliness during menstruation so that the reproductive system does not get infected with microorganisms like bacteria, virus and fungus. Each cycle takes 28 days, but it varies from individual to individual. The menstrual cycle keeps going on regularly till the age of 45 or so. A stage reaches when it all stops, means ovulation and all other associated processes stop. This state is called menopause. Ovulation. Ovulation is the process of release of a mature egg from the ovary. During ovulation, a mature ovum is released. The ovum moves along the fallopian tube towards the uterus. Human ovum is an extremely minute structure, spherical in shape. Its cytoplasm contains a large nucleus. This nucleus contains genetic material which is passed from the mother to her child. During copulation, millions of sperms are released into the female reproductive system. However, only a few of them are able to reach the ovum. Of these, only one will be able to fuse with the ovum. The sperm cell is composed of three main parts: the head, the middle piece, and the tail. The head contains nucleus. The sperm uses its head to penetrate the egg and release its nucleus. The head of the sperm releases certain enzymes that begin to break the outer, jelly-like layer of the ovum. This makes entry for the nucleus of the sperm. The fusion between the sperm and the ovum is called fertilization. In humans, fertilization normally takes place in the fallopian tube. Once the ovum is fertilized by one sperm, it secretes various chemicals that make it impermeable to the other sperms. Fertilization produces a zygote. It divides into 2, then into 4, and so on. And now it is called embryo. By this time, when the embryo travels through the fallopian tube, certain changes take place in it. Finally, the embryo enters the uterus and is ready for implantation in the uterine wall. This signals the beginning of pregnancy. Implantation and embryo development. Implantation is the process through which the embryo embeds itself into the inner wall of the uterus. Let us see how it takes place. The first step of this process is the attachment phase. The outer cells of the embryo bind to the innermost side of the uterine wall. The cells in the uterine wall are full of nutrients and water. The cells of the embryo now multiply and begin to take the shape of a fetus. There is a rapid growth and the baby's main external features start taking shape. The placenta is an organ that connects the developing fetus to the uterine wall to allow nutrient uptake. all the major body organs of the fetus develop during the first 8 weeks of the pregnancy. Gestation period in human being is 9 months. Gestation period is the time in which a fetus develops, beginning with fertilization and ending at birth.